We are live. This is going to be a very quick and dirty call review on a very specific part of the call where I focus on pre-handling fear and also pre-handling money logistics. Because just based on this type of person and what he said earlier on in the call, because right now we are 7 minutes into the call, I could tell he was going to have a fear-based objection plus money was tight. So you'll see how I pre-handle that. Right? Let's get into it. Lagos?
In Lagos, yes.
Lagos, in
Basically
Lagos.
based in Lagos.
Yeah. Okay, so you still need to be able to obviously pay for them as well.
I still have to
Right.
pay for the
Now,
school
now
fees.
let's say this. Let's say you come in with us in the VIP,
Mm,
and there's obviously going to be a risk involved, of course,
mm,
right?
mm.
There's nothing in this world that's guaranteed. And I
Yeah.
mean, do you know any successful person that never takes risks?
No. No.
They don't exist. Now, what I'm doing right now is I'm preempting the risk and the fear involved. Right now, one of the ways that I do that, shout out Marcin if he's watching this, but basically, one of the best lines that I've heard is, "Do you know any successful person that never takes risks?" What is the person going to say? No, they don't know any successful person that never takes risks, which implies what? That to be successful, you must take risks. And I'm already implanting that seed in his mind, right? That to get what he wants, he needs to take risks, right? And the thing is, at the very end of the call, what I used to do is I used to wait until the very end of the call to get a commitment out of the person, to get a commitment to get started out of the person. Whereas now I preempt that fear, preempt that risk, preempt their uncomfortable situation and their unfortunate circumstances, and get them to repeatedly, not just once, not just twice, but repeatedly tell themselves that they are going to overcome a particular risk or a particular fear, emotion. That's it,
Yeah,
right?
no.
And that's what
Everybody.
separates the winners and honestly the people who stay average
Mm.
is if they're willing to take that risk. Now are you again, this is more identity framing, right? This is what separates the winners and the people who want to stay average. Now, in their mind, when I say that, they are putting themselves in one of two categories: a winner or someone who wants to be average, right? And I'm framing that this decision of overcoming the fear is the biggest thing that determines someone. So if they're not willing to overcome that fear, they're going to stay average. And in their person's mind, who wants to be average? If everything aligns and, if everything makes sense for you, are you willing to take the risk to be able to make 7 to 8 thousand a month from trading, to be able to retire early while still being able to take care of your family? Are you willing to take that risk?
Yeah, of course. Everything is risk in this life. Everything. If you're scared to take the risk, you just stay in one place.
Exactly. Because and I can tell from what I've already said and what he said, he has a good mindset surrounding taking the risk or not taking the risk. What happens to the people? What happens to the people that never take risks? What
They're
happens?
just talking.
And that's another question of identity framing. What happens to the people that never take the risks? What happens to them? And in their mind, they'll say, "Oh, they're stuck. They never succumb to anything. Yada yada yada." But then we're shaming a particular type of person based on their actions, right? We're shaming people who never take risks, right? And think about that. What is the likelihood? Well, I mean, the likelihood decreases that this particular person is going to act in accordance with someone they are shaming. Does that make sense? Because, as an example, let's say we're shaming people for not approaching women, and I'm having a conversation with you of how, people who never, of guys who never approach women are pussies and they never amount to anything. It's crazy, right? But guess what happens when it's time to approach a woman and I egg you on? You're more likely going to do it just because you shame people who don't talk to women. It's the same concept here.
Stuck in one place. So I know.
Exactly, right? And they're stuck in the same place for years and years and years, 10,
Mm-hmm,
12, 12,
mm-hmm.
years. And
Yeah.
nothing changes because nothing
Like it
changes
came.
if nothing
Mm-hmm.
changes,
Yeah.
right? And that's the biggest thing, right? But let's say you come in with us, you take the risk, and everything works amazingly. What I'm doing now is I am pacing and putting the idea in their mind that not only do they take the risk, so I'm implanting that seed in their mind that they are taking the risk in this call, but also that the program that I'm selling is incredible. It exceeds their expectations, right? I'm going to replay this again just so you get it. Nothing
Like it
changes
came.
if nothing
Mm-hmm.
changes.
Yeah.
right? And that's the biggest thing, right? But let's say you come in with us, you take the risk, and everything works amazingly, right? Everything is better than you could ever imagine. Let's say
Hmm.
1 to 2 years, even 3 years down the line, right? What would be the dream situation for you that would make you say, okay, I'm actually really glad that I took the risk? What would your dream situation be like for you in your life? And then that's the desire state, future pacing, whatever it is, getting to the dream, getting to the goals, but doing it in a way where they go through our program first and they see incredible results, and then they get the amazing North Star, or whatever it is. But the point of this is getting them to visualize themselves taking the risk, going through everything, and what we have being even better than they could ever imagine. And then here he is going to say a potential objection where he talks about, okay, yes, this is my goal, yada, 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 but it depends on how much money I have to put in. So that's the money logistics issue, where he's thinking in his mind, okay, I want to do it, I'm ready to take the risk, it just depends how much. But I want him to get into a state where he's willing to overcome his situation and do whatever he can, do whatever it takes to actually get started, right? Not only that, but I also price anchor a price that's way more than what I'm offering, right? I say it's 20K. Our program is not 20K, but I say 20K. And then I basically get him to overcome the fear in that moment of paying 20K. And then at the end of the call, when I say it's actually just this amount, right? Then he's way more likely to do it because I've already anchored him over. He's already overcome 20K. So overcoming the less amount is going to be a lot easier. You'll see what I mean.
Is well, I said 7 to 8 thousand a month. Um, it depends on. This is what I wish, right? But to be able to make that kind of money, you have to put certain amount. How do I put it?
Yeah, yeah, you have to invest a
Certain
certain amount of
amounts to
money.
invest. Yeah. So if it depends on after this training, if I know, oh, what it's going to take to put in this to invest to make that kind of money, then I'll be able to decide. Oh, okay, yes, I can avoid that within 3 months, within
Sure, but let's say theoretically, let's say it was
mm,
20,000. Just theoretically.
okay,
Just imagine it's 20,000, right? That
okay,
you need to invest. You
okay,
said your goal was minimum $7,000 a month,
yes,
right? 7 times 12. 1 second, 7 times 12. That's, wait, 1 second. So 7,000 times 12, right? 7,000 times 12. That's
mm-hmm.
$84,000 a year. So even if you need to invest 20,000 to make $84,000 a year
Mm-hmm.
on year, and scaling that up, isn't that a
Mm-hmm.
good investment?
I think so.
You think so, or it is? 20,000. And then playfully challenge. This is something that I learned from Kurt Udale on YouTube. I just saw one of his videos. But he always likes to challenge people, even if it's playful in the discovery, because then by the end he can still challenge them and it's still congruent. So when he says I think so, I mean, if I told you, if you were gonna give me $2 and I was gonna give you $8, and I told you if that was a good, if I asked you if that was a good investment or not, and you said I think so, I'd be like, what the fuck? You think so? Come on, it is a good investment. And you see, I'm smiling, I'm laughing, it's playful. There's not that much tension, but I'm still challenging it. That's 4 times the money in a year. That's a good investment,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And if you knew that you could make that, wouldn't you do everything you can to find the 20,000? Theoretically,
yeah.
to
Mm-hmm.
make $7,000 a month, again, year, and to be able to retire, to not have to work this long, wouldn't you want to do everything in your power?
Yes. So
Because
to
because
get that
because
money.
because what's the alternative? Sure, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it is expensive. It is a lot of money to get started. But what's the
Mm-hmm.
alternative? You keep doing what you're doing, you're working. Like you mentioned, you're 54, 56. You mentioned you had the thing with your back. How much longer can you keep going that way?
Yeah, you're right.
Boom. And then I do like a mini consequence of the alternative, and then I pause. And then you see it hits him.
That's true.
You know?
So the alternative is to look for the money.
Yeah. But that's the biggest thing. And the biggest thing is not only having the resources, because I've seen people in worse situations than you make it work.
Mm.
Because it's someone's ability to be resourceful. Do you know what resourceful means?
Mm.
Then I basically go into like a resourcefulness reframe, word track, whatever the fuck. But basically, this is everything I really wanted to show you. Yes, he did end up closing. He closed on a payment plan because he just that's all he could logistically do, but still closed. And yeah, that is pretty much everything that I wanted to speak to you about now. And if you enjoyed it, wonderful. If you want more content, you know what to do. And hope you found this valuable.